Happy Saturday and day one in the books of the Charlotte County Fall Fair. What a day it has been. If you think my voice is strange, do not adjust your TV set, as they say. I barely have a voice left because it has been a full day from 8:30 a.m. of me staffing the gate with the Rotary Club, of which I'm a member, letting people into the fair, checking tickets, all that good stuff. Then going to St. Stephen for a press conference downtown. Super exciting news for Saint Croix that I want to share with you. A monumental day in the campaign and perhaps for our riding. And then the rest of the day back to the fair, eating great food, talking to people nonstop until 4 o'clock. And so here it is live, 4-5 at 5 on this beautiful Saturday. Today with David Coon, as I said, major news. David Coon has heard our cries down here in Saint Croix. Already, we have government pretty much acting the way it needs to function. From the very beginning, back in May, I have been advocating and insisting that in order to solve problems, there are local solutions. And for Campobello, the way to solve many of their challenges on the island, they need a year-round ferry. So way back in the summer, when I visited Campobello, I did make a video called NMLA for Campobello, where I talked about the need for a ferry. And so you can go back and watch that. And Campobello, I hope you're watching because I absolutely love your island. I was out there yesterday putting in signs, had an amazing lunch as per usual at the porch, and visiting residents, community leaders around the island. And once again, I just heard that overwhelming need for a ferry. You know, stories of somebody who was trying to bring grass seed in from Lubeck across the river, and they could not bring it in. It was stopped at the United States border. So if you're coming up to speed, Campobello is attached to the United States. It is not attached to Canada or New Brunswick via any mainland. And so in order to get to Campobello, you either need to drive through Maine for a good hour from St. Stephen and access it that way, or take a private ferry, which is kind of barge-like. And I will tell you from personal experience yesterday, trying to get our campaign signs with the lumber and the tools and all that stuff. Of course, we had to ask the Americans if they would let us through and if they saw fit, and thankfully they allowed it to happen. This is just an example that I got to, taste for myself of what it's like for restaurants to try to get food, for grocery stores to try to get food, contractors, plumbers of all, contractors of all kinds, plumbers, electricians, builders, construction, trying to get materials to the island. It is extremely difficult. Businesses that are trying to grow their business with staff, a lot of the time, the kinds of people that they want to hire do not have passports and will not be in a position to be able to pay a $40 round trip ferry. We could not get our trailer on the barge ferry, the private ferry, because it would have been extremely costly. There's a by the foot cost, of course, and so a car with a trailer is very long, etc., etc. This is a problem. It is holding Campobello back from just being able to thrive and being everything that it can be, as well as life for the residents. There's one resident I met yesterday. She said her passport's going to expire. She needs to renew it. She's worried about what happens with a passport in limbo because the private ferry closes tomorrow. At the end of this month. Told you I'm tired. So in September, the ferry will be closed. It will stop running, and islanders then, the only way to get to and from Campobello is through the United States. And if you're in any sort of position that you can't do that, you're essentially landlocked. So today, David Coon announced that we will, when we form government and as your MLA, Campobello, we will work. We will be committed. That will be one of the top priorities, is to get you that year-round ferry, just like Deer Island. There is no reason why Deer Island, with its 1,000 residents, has a ferry, and Campobello, with its 1,000 residents, does not have a ferry. So we are committed to bringing that solution to you in Campobello on the riding of Saint Croix. David Coon also announced in another amazing interest, the interest of Saint Croix, that we will be working on restoring courthouse services to this riding, having a courthouse, having judiciaries, lawyers, a judge, maybe a team of judges that will come down and share the responsibilities. And so that is extremely important. I've been talking about that, what that does. I did a whole series on that, and you can go back and check those videos. But everything that was said, was going to happen in 2015 as a result of not having a courthouse in our riding, well, that has happened, including the RCMP needing to drive all the way to St. John, the nearest courthouse, and not being able to patrol. So when I hear people say we need more police response, and I'm hearing all kinds of very difficult stories of people who are not calling the police anymore because they know they won't come, or it'll take an hour and a half, depending on where you are in our riding. And so they're taking matters in their own hands. And I think it's just a matter of time until someone does get hurt, taking on that police responsibility into their own hands. And so this government's only plan so far is to give us one more officer in the Southwest Service Commission. That means, from all the way to the westernmost point of the riding to St. John. And that's the only plan. Whereas the courthouse will free up those officers to be able to do their jobs, as well as get New Brunswickers access to justice. Say that people in Saint Croix need to be able to lodge charges if they wish. Victims need to be able to go and make statements and observe courthouse proceedings. Police officers need to know that if they decide to charge somebody of the kind of crimes we're not seeing them charged with, that they won't have to drive them all the way to St. John, that they can appear somewhere locally in court. So this is the cascade of issues that we are facing as a result of not having a courthouse in our riding, and that will end. So I want to thank David Coon for prioritizing St. Croix, hearing the things that I've been bringing to the attention of the party and of all of you voters since my campaign launch in May. And these are top priorities, and I'm really, really excited. Again, things are going to get better. We're going to see those rural services restored. Half of New Brunswick is a rural population. 100% of St. Croix is a rural population. And we should not be denied the services. We should not be deprived of the services that are essential just because we live farther from the cities in New Brunswick. We are a province that is a community, and we all should be able to access our fair share of services together. So I'll see you at the fair tomorrow. Thanks for today, and come join me if you're around in Charlotte County. It is a great time at the fair, and I'm looking